During the court change, John McEnroe used some language, some abusive language. We simply just can't play for you. For a report on what happened, he was handed 2 violations, I believe. Right. Let's go down to Mary Carrillo.
That's it. That's exactly what happened, Pat, and that's why it is 15-love now. The game has just begun, and yet John, in quick succession, yelled at the umpire, Richard Ng, who slapped 2 penalties on him. The first was a warning, the second a point penalty. So on serve, instead of being the first set for McEnroe, if he had gotten the call his way, he's down 15-love.
McEnroe missed another easy chance.
Kyrie, what happened on being abusive to the umpire at the court change? They first warned him, then he called him some names, cussed that we can't repeat and show you on the air. We have it on tape, but we can't use it. So that was a point penalty. So Zivojinovic came out serving at 15-love, and he's now won the second point. So he's at 30-love, trying to get even at 5-all in this second set.
McEnroe did win the first set 6-4.
John told the umpire that it cost him the first set because he couldn't see it all, and he forgets the easy volley that he missed when he had the first set point, a high volley. And now McEnroe has to be very careful. If he gets another point, another penalty, it's a game and one more, and he's out of the match. That's the way he goes. Goes warning, point penalty, game penalty, and then you lose the match. So
he's got 2 to go.
He's got 2 to go.
Bobo gets even.
That's his 7th ace. I have asked McEnroe in the past. I've seen him go to 3 penalties, and I said, you know, why didn't you go the route? He said, you know, I may be dumb, but I'm not stupid. And after he got the second one here, when the umpire slapped him with it, as the rules state, he got very quiet.
Well, I saw we were doing a match of the Dallas finals, WCT, in April this year. And he carried on right from the word go with the umpire against Machir, and he got in a position, got himself in a position where if he won more and he was out of the match.
Now, Cyclops went off that time.
Started the clock again.
There's Cyclops. Now here again, if John takes more than 30 seconds, according to the rules, he would lose this game.
But it's in between first and second serves.
He only has 30 seconds.
Between the first and second serves.
Sure.
Let me just go back to that Dallas match where I felt that John got himself in such a...
Now that ball was inside the line. Are we still going by the machine, even though it made a mistake just then? That ball is inside the line. Inside the line.
He got himself into such a position that he put himself into a hole, and I felt it hurt his tennis, and he just put himself out of the match.
He's about to do it again, it looks like.
Especially if the umpires don't give in, you know, and they hold tight.
Love 30.
Love 30.
You know, it's one thing out there if you can bluff the umpires out, but when you can't do that, you come out looking a little bit silly in the end.
Well, if the officials make the rules stand up, this game will run very well because the rules are there. They just have to be upheld by the officials. In this case, Richard Ings did it.
Love 40.
I think that McEnroe's now lost 8 points in a row.
Not including the one that was awarded.
Right, and he's now at 3 break points staring him in the face, which would, if he loses one of these, Zivojinovic will be serving for the second set at 6-5. So McEnroe has had this thing turn around on him very dramatically here.
Oh!
15-40.
Again, tough shot here for John McEnroe. He's already served 5 doubles, 6 aces.
Game Zivojinovic.
You could almost feel it coming.
It could, and Zivojinovic now leads 6-5. Second set.
6-5.
They have just given McEnroe a game penalty. But then they said Zivojinovic leads 6-5.
No, he won at 7-5. I think that's what they said, Pat.
Well, the scoreboard still says 6-5.
Well, again, on the court change, McEnroe had got in a big discussion and argument with the umpire and used some language that you can't put on television.
Let's go again to Mary Carrillo.
Well, that's exactly what happened. John, at the last changeover, had a long, protracted conversation with Richard Ing. It was more like a big fight. Richard tried to calm him down, and it wouldn't happen. And then as John went over to switch ends at 6-5, he also yelled at our CBS microphone guy on the court, and that was enough. Richard Ing said, that's that. The third warning you get for a code violation is a game. It goes warning, point, game. The next one is match, if John goes any further. He has just lost the second set.
He has
with
lost
the game,
second set.
with the game, yes, he has. It's 7. It's now split sets, and John can hardly believe it.
Well, they still haven't changed the scoreboard.
I don't know why he can hardly believe it, because of the language he used, both to the umpire and what he said or told our CBS technician to do with the microphone down there. I don't know what else he'd expect. Now he's 1 away from being defaulted and being out of this U.S. Open Championships.
Now they've changed it. Sets are 1-all.
And McEnroe said, what are you going to do to me? Give me a game penalty if I keep going, and then you're going to default me? And he's got the game penalty, so he's got 1 left.
15.
Ace number 7.
Pretty hard for Zivojinovic. Just thinking of him to concentrate now with this atmosphere and.
$30-15.
is some of the argument, the part that